From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 16th, 2017. The family of one of the Israeli citizens being held by terror group Hamas met yesterday at the White House with U.S. Special Representative for International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt. Avraham Avira Mengistu, who is said to have a history of mental illness, has been missing since he crossed into Gaza in September of 2014, where it is believed he is being held by Hamas against his will. Yesterday, Avira's brother Ilan and mother Agurnesh met with Greenblatt in Washington, who later wrote on social media that it is outrageous that Hamas will not let him, referring to Avira, return home or communicate with his family. On Saturday night, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office announced a renewed effort to bring back Mengistu and two other Israelis believed to be held by Hamas, as well as the remains of two fallen IDF soldiers, Hadar Golden and Oron Shaul. The U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee yesterday passed the Taylor Force Act. The legislation passed unanimously. It would, among other things, cut U.S. funding to the Palestinian Authority until it stops providing stipends to the families of terrorists. Committee Chairman California Republican Ed Royce said with this legislation, we are forcing the PA to choose between U.S. assistance and these morally reprehensible policies. The legislation is named after American Army veteran Taylor Force, who was murdered by a Palestinian terrorist in Tel Aviv last year. It has support from across the aisle of both the House and the Senate, as well as from pro-Israel lobby AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. The Taylor Force Act now heads to the entire House for a vote. Well, there was a bit of a tussle this morning at the Western Wall in Jerusalem between a group of Reform Jewish leaders and worshipers and Israeli security. Haaretz reports that President of the Union for Reform Judaism, Rabbi Rick Jacobs, and others clashed with the guards and with ultra-Orthodox worshipers as the group tried to enter the main plaza of the holy site with Torah scrolls. The ultra-Orthodox administrators of the Western Wall do not allow outside scrolls or men and women to pray together at the site, and they accused the group of provocation. The Reform group was celebrating the ordination of the 100th Israeli Reform rabbi of Hebrew Union College with an egalitarian service that began at Robinson's Arch, the area designated for pluralistic prayer at the Western Wall, and the service was supposed to conclude at the main plaza of the wall. It was there that the group clashed with the guards who tried to prevent them from getting through, though they ultimately were able to enter the plaza and held a prayer service there. The IMPJ, the umbrella organization of Reform congregations in Israel, wrote on Twitter that the group was brutally restrained by the Israel police and by the guards of the Western Wall Heritage Foundation. 162 members of what is believed to be a lost tribe of Israel made Aliyah, immigrated to Israel today. India's B'nai Menashe Jewish community's immigration was facilitated by Shavei Yisrael, which is a Jerusalem-based nonprofit which works to reconnect descendants of Jews around the world with their people and the state of Israel. The group was greeted at Ben Gurion Airport by Israel's Interior Minister Aryeh Deri, Deputy Finance Minister Yitzhak Cohen, and Shavei Yisrael founder and chairman Michael Freund, where they jointly recited the Jewish prayer, the Shema. Dozens of Holocaust survivors who were denied the opportunity to have a bar or bat mitzvah celebrated the milestone this week at Jerusalem's Western Wall. The 45 men and women who are all Israeli citizens originally from the former Soviet Union had to flee their homes and hide their Jewish identity during World War II, but on Monday, decades later, they gathered at the holy site in an event organized by the Friendship Foundation led by Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein, who said the light and darkness here are mixed up, but the hope is absolute, and this is proof that it is never too late. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, November the 16th at 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study with Rabbi Mordechai Becker. At 7:30, New York Times columnist Joseph Berger speaks with Rabbis Jonathan Morgenstern, David Shook, and Jeffrey Serkman on how they handle a number of challenges. At 8, author Yossi Klein Halevi speaks with Abigail Pogrebin about social safety versus civil rights. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Dorit Imbar, who is general manager of the new Fund for Cinema and Television of Israel, An L'Chaim. At 10, Shalem College's Daniel Gordis talks about the significance of the Balfour Declaration. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, remarks from the son of a Hamas leader, Mossab Hassan Youssef. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 16th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.